Good morning, guys. Today we are going to daily doodle somebody who needs no introduction. Scooby Doo, one of the most famous dogs out there. And we're going to start with his nose, right in the center. Let's make Scooby's nose kind of looks like a giant guitar pick. If you've never seen a guitar pick, it's kind of like a round triangle. Does that make sense? Whatever. So that's kind of like a Scooby-Doo nose shape. Okay, now we want to do his nose and then his eyes. There's a funny little, he's got like a bumpy nose. I don't know what kind of dog Scooby is. I really don't know anything about dogs. But his nose kind of pops like this to this little eyeball here, which is a little round. Which is about a third the size of his nose, and then his other eyeball isn't ever really totally round, but it's always quite a bit bigger than that eyeball in the back, because this thing's being hidden behind the nose, right? It's all about perspective. Scooby's pupils are about a third, maybe a fourth the size of his eyes. So we got Scooby's eyes, Scooby's nose. Scooby's got this big, massive mouth. He's a Hanna-Barbera character, and they always had these massive, like, jaws and mouths. And so we're going to try to get Scooby's mouth. Now, you guys see where his eye comes to right about here? That's usually about where Scooby's smile shows up. So if you want to, you can even draw like the smile line first. And his smile is really wobbly. Got this kind of like kind of smile like this, which is really weird. Sometimes it even comes down farther, but we're going to leave it like that, just down and up and then wobbly all the way up to the rest of his smile there. And then we need the rest of his mouth up here, which is this big massive lump and then a big massive lip. Maybe I made his lip a little too big, but he's got this massive face.
Well, like if I had a face like that, I'd moan too.
So his nose is about the same size as the top of his mouth, and then again about the same size as the bottom of his mouth. So bottom of his mouth right here where this little dip comes in, we're going to do Scooby's where his mouth opens up. About to there. Depending on how big his mouth, how wide his mouth is open, this could be bigger or smaller. And of course a tongue. Standard cartoon style tongue. We got our black. Alright, he's got these big fat lips. Really exaggerated. And then a massive, massive chin as well on top of that. And his chin's going to come right up to about here. So the smile line and this line here. So we can start down here with the chin and then bring it on up. There we go. So you kind of got this Y shape here. Now we're kind of getting a little more Scooby looking. Actually, I think I might have made his chin a little too skinny.
Like, why couldn't you have been a poodle?
So this isn't too bad here. But we gotta make him look a little fatter. But there are a few characteristics, no matter how skinny your Scooby is, people are going to recognize him as Scooby, right? So we're almost there. We got to give him his eyebrows. Oh, the back of his head. It's really this kind of, same as like the Flintstones heads, right? So we're going to start like, here's his nose. Nose is a good width from here to his, like the back of his eye to where his ear starts, because it's a good place to know where the ear starts, right? This is going to be his ear in a second. And then you got to get this kind of like hunchy looking back of his head here. All the way down like that. And that kind of fattens Scooby's, well, not fat, but thickens his head up a little bit. And we're going to make sure there's room for a collar down here. Collar's a nice straight line right across. Whenever you do a collar, you always make it go a little farther out than the neck. There we go, Scoob. There. And then take a look at the neck when you go back to see it's not too fat. That might even be a little too fat. case, we usually want his neck to be almost as fat as his head, but not too fat, because you don't want to look like he's had too many cheeseburgers. Alright, there's Scooby's collar. We'll finish his collar in a second. Let's get to his ears.
You gotta be kidding.
Floppy dog ears. They're not huge, but they are floppy. And I think I messed that one up because we need to save room in between his eye here. So maybe we'll make his ears come out farther that way. Let's do Scooby's eyebrows up here. One thick black eyebrow. Dogs are not known for plucking their eyebrows.
You gotta be kidding.
And actually, a lot of animals don't have eyebrows, but I think dogs actually do have eyebrows. There we go. Scooby's head. Pretty basic head. It's usually kind of even covered by his eyebrows. So, like that, maybe. And then we'll add to that ear in the back. But he's got these little floppy ears. And they're about the same size as his nose, a little bigger. Mine are getting a little smaller than that today because we're running out of room at the top of the board. But maybe you can see it. Might make this back ear just a little bit bigger to make up for it. But his ears kind of come up and then flop, right, like that. Scratch my eye because it's itchy. Don't touch your face during COVID. All right, scratch. There's Scooby's other ear. And we're just going to leave it like that.
I suppose you want me to take a look?
That looks fine. Now, there's a couple little things you want to add to make it extra Scooby. Color in the nose, if you can. Just to make it nice and dark. Because Scooby's got a black nose. Also, when you're doing that, you can kind of, if you're sketching with pencils, it's kind of an excuse to like reshape it a little bit if you think your nose is not quite the way it should be. Now he's got to have like the scruffy stuff on his chin. Oh, also this little eye here I don't like. There, that's a little better. He's got like 2 or 3 little dots on his chin here. And then usually has 1 or 2 hairs sticking out, much like Shaggy does. And then right up here on his nose, I don't know if it's always 3. But this side would be 3, and then here you would only be able to see 2 of them. We got the line under his eye. We got, what else are we missing? Oh yeah, we got to get Scooby's collar. Scooby's got like a blue collar, or maybe it's aqua. I don't know the color. Nice thick collar that he has on him that Shaggy gave to him when he was a little guy.
Would always be without you. I feel lost at sea.
I love it.
And probably can't even, we can still see down here. He's just got this nice little ring that goes around the collar here. And it's got SD written on it, and it's got like a diamond shape. SD for Shaggy Doo. Scooby Doo, not Shaggy Doo. Alright, and then his neck goes out backwards this way here. And the front comes down this way. That's pretty much all you got to do to get on your Scooby. Really, the trick is to get the proportions right. And I'm not super happy with it, but I rarely am. A few things to do. Color in the darkness. Here just adds a little dimension, even though it's just a doodle. We want to be able to have a little bit of dimension added to it. And there we go. Work on your Scoobies at home. Practice. Try to get it better and better. And I mean, it's not the best Scooby, but at least people can recognize him as Scooby. All right, have fun.